Hello, and my apologies for being a few minutes late this morning. I've actually been doing some clearing out in this room, and my my meditation room, come treatment room, come qigong room. It started to look a little bit less like a junk room, so that's all good progress. Okay, so that's why I'm a bit late. I am going to lead a normal session this morning with me doing standing qigong. Yay! I know I'm okay to stand for the relatively short period of time that for the qigong set that I teach you, just those 4 or 5 moves. Okay. So I've had the concept of stillness on my mind an awful lot lately. Partly because that's in time with the season, because obviously we're moving into winter, and this is a time when nature becomes very still. But also because obviously I myself have had this enforced period of stillness when I haven't been doing as much as I normally would do. And just because you're still doesn't mean that you're not achieving anything. And I think that's an important point to make, because looking at it from a nature viewpoint, in winter, when the earth isn't growing anything, it's still, it appears to be dead, but actually it's replenishing, the soil is replenishing itself, gaining all the nutrients that it needs, so that the soil will be fertile when the next crop is planted. So stillness doesn't necessarily mean that you aren't doing anything. And certainly when you are physically still, your mind can still be working, hopefully working with you, sometimes obviously working against you. But your mind is still working, and you can still do things with your mind. And trust me, your mind is actually extremely powerful. So how does this relate in Qigong and mindfulness? Well, in Qigong, although it appears that we are doing a lot of, well, we are waving our arms around, most of the movements have a contrast between the stillness of the body and the movement of the arms. There are no movements where every single part of you is moving. And the stillness of the body is actually where the power comes from. That's one reason why I emphasize so much getting yourself into good posture, engaging those core abdominal muscles. Because when you do that and you keep your core body still, it's actually more powerful, and it can be used to drive the movements that your arms are making. So, as we go through the moves today, I would like you to try and appreciate the contrast with the Qigong moves between the stillness in part of your body and the movement in the other. And if you think about it, we're after trying to get our Qi to flow properly. Think about wind. What causes the wind to move is the difference in the air pressures. And what causes water to move is a difference in height. To stick with water, the analogy works better. The ground is staying perfectly still, and the water is responding to the difference in height between the parts of the ground. I think a waterfall is the ultimate example of that. But the high point of the waterfall up here staying still, the low point of the waterfall down there staying still, and in between there's a lot of movement of the water. Qigong is trying to tap into that aspect of your natural qi, that it will naturally flow when the conditions are right. And you're just trying to, with these exercises, trying to get the conditions right within your body. Okay, so that's enough talking for now. I'm just going to take a slurp of my coffee, excuse me. And then I'd like to invite you to get yourself into a position where you're going to actually go through the Qigong set. So, I'm going to do something I don't normally do with this group. I'm going to bow in. So the bow represents you gathering in yin from the earth and yang from the sun. So, standing nice and straight or sitting with your back straight. Bring your left arm across your body with the palm up. Bring your right arm across with the palm down. Clasp your arms and bow. With that bow, you're acknowledging the yin and the yang. With that bow, you are also acknowledging the other people who are doing this with you, whether they're doing it at the same time or not. You're also acknowledging the guidance you get from me as I lead the session. And I'm acknowledging the fact that I learn every time I do this sort of thing. I learn from what happens to me. I learn from the feedback I get from you. So do please give me some feedback. Right, so whether you're seated or standing, get yourself into bear stance. So that's feet to hip width apart, feet parallel, knees very slightly bent. Engage your core abdominal muscles. Make sure your back is straight. Make sure your neck is straight. Maybe tuck the chin in to make sure that the top of your head is pointing at the sky. Just let your arms hang loosely by your sides. And just for a moment, just breathe. Keeping your mind with thought for the next 30 minutes or so is your time to do what you need. Maybe get in your mind a sense of how you'd like to feel or need to feel at the end of this session. Then I'd like you to close your eyes. Send your awareness down to your feet. Make sure that your weight is evenly distributed. And I'd like you to imagine that you're in that beautiful glass of sky. Looking out over those beautiful country. And I want you to imagine that lift car gently floating down, floor by floor, until it comes gently to rest on the ground. When you're ready, open your eyes so you can see what I'm doing. Let your arms hang loose by your side. Just breathe and just get a sense of how the whole of your body responds to your breath. And gently turn your arms so that the palms of your hands are facing backwards. And then with your next in breath, just let your arms slowly float up in front of you. As you breathe out, just let them slowly sink back down. Maybe imagine you have a puppet string on your wrist. As the puppet string pulls your wrist up, your hand lags slightly behind. And then when the pressure is released and your wrist floats down, the hands also lag slightly behind. Breathe in, your arms float up. As you breathe out, they sink back down. And then last time for this move, breathe out and let your hands sink down. And on the next move, they rise up again and turn your palms in and let your arms spread out. As you breathe out, your hands float back in together and then float down. Feel your chest and lungs expanding with every in-breath. Feel them relaxing as you breathe out. Maybe get a sense that your arms are being pulled apart by the expansion of your back muscles on the in-breath, and then being allowed to float together with relaxation on the out-breath. Breathe in, your arms float up and spread out. As you breathe out, they float back in and back down. And then the last time for this move, next in breath, bring your arms up to a mat arch. As you breathe out, dip slightly on your left knee and let your right arm uncurl. As you breathe in, everything comes back up to the middle. Remember the same on the other side. And keep your back straight. Breathe out, dip on one knee, the opposite arm uncurls. As you breathe in, everything comes back to the center. And then last time for this move, breathe in, everything comes to the center. As you breathe out, turn your arms outwards and let your hands swoop down by your side. As you breathe in, they rise up again. And do the same again. Doesn't matter how big or small the circles are. Just make them of the size that suits you. With every out breath, maybe you could imagine that you're pushing away any clouds that surround you. And actually, I'd like you to imagine is that as your hands move down, a bit like a cake mix, the movement of your hands and the circles that you're making, you're mixing up all the energy that you've put into your body with the last few minutes. Breathe in, your arms rise up. Breathe out, and float back down all the way to the bottom. And the last time for this move, and this time as you breathe out, let your hands float down, but then bring them into position in front of your abdomen, ready to balance your chin. As you breathe in, imagine it feeling around a ball of energy. As you breathe out, let your hands sink down. Imagine it feeling around the ball, and as you breathe out, you try to push that ball underwater, but it drops back up again. Breathe in, your arms float up, breathe out, and they sink back down. Imagine yourself smoothing around that ball of energy and then maybe squashing it down. And then last time for this smooth. And this time as you breathe out, just let your hands come to rest in front of your abdomen. Just for a moment. Stand very still, very quiet. Let everything just for a few breaths. Relax down. Bring your left foot in towards your right. We'll bow out as we bowed in, left hand palm up, right hand palm down, and down. And then take a moment to get yourself into position or where you're going to do the mindfulness meditation, whether you're sitting, lying, or actually you can stand to do this. If for some reason it's more comfortable for you, excuse me. It's quite possible to stand and meditate. In fact, Qigong is kind of a standing meditation, as I said before. And get yourself into your space where you're going to do the meditation. Get yourself comfortable. I have my trusty singing bowl here. And as ever, I will sound the beginning and end of the meditation by ringing the singing bowl 3 times. As ever, I'll start the meditation. I'm going to let the bowl ring 3 times, and on the 3rd time, I'm going to let the sound just fade into silence. And I'd like you to try and follow the sound as it fades away and find the point of silence. You may want to just let your eyes close as the silence falls. You don't have to close your eyes. Some people find that it helps. And I'd like you to start by focusing your attention onto where your body is supported by the bed or the chair or whatever you're on. I want you to really notice every point of contact. If you're sitting on a chair, if you can, just get your back away from the chair back so that you're supporting yourself, and supporting your head. So that your whole posture and body's a feeling of wakefulness. If you're lying, that's okay, not a problem. But mindfulness is all about awareness and being awake and noticing things. So if you're working with your eyes shut, then you discover that you're becoming relaxed and sleepy. It could help to open your eyes just so that you can still focus your mind on what I'm saying. So become very aware of where you're sitting or lying or standing. Are there any differences in textures? Is your body sending you any signal? If so, just adjust your position until the signal fades away. If you can't do that, just do the best that you can. And then I'd like you to move your attention further in and focus your attention on your breathing. Don't change your breath in any way. I just want you to notice every in-breath and every out-breath. And as you notice your breath, maybe you could imagine that you're kind of standing outside yourself, observing yourself. And as you observe yourself, let go of any natural tendency to wonder if you're doing it right, or to wonder what others are doing and if they're doing better. Because there is no right or wrong way to do this. Whatever you notice is perfect for you. You will notice what you notice. And that's all I'm asking you to do. Just to notice what you notice about your breath. Maybe you notice air moving in your nose or throat. Maybe you're aware of muscles moving. Maybe you can follow the whole breath cycle equally. Maybe there's one part of the breath that stands out to you more than any other. In that case, just let your attention rest there. Whatever you notice is perfect for you. Now, because you've got a normal human mind, the chances are that at some point you're going to find that your mind has wandered away from my voice or from what you want your focus to be on. Maybe it's been dragged away by thoughts of something that's happening later, or by memories of something that happened in the past. Maybe it gets taken away by some pain or discomfort in your body. Well, that's okay, because you have a human mind, and human minds are meant to think. So the important thing isn't that your mind stays focused on your breathing or whatever I'm asking you to focus on. The important thing is that you notice what your mind is doing. And when you notice that your mind has wandered, congratulate yourself. And then gently lead your mind back to focusing on every in-breath and every out-breath. Because right here, right now, all you need to focus on is just this breath coming in, just this breath going out. Just be in this moment, here and now, focusing on just this breath coming in, just this breath going out. As many times as your mind wanders away, just as many times, gently lead it back. And congratulate yourself for noticing what your mind is doing. If your mind is being distracted by thoughts of events, maybe acknowledge the thoughts that dragged it away. Maybe imagine yourself putting a post-it note in some small corner of your mind to remind you that you need to think about this later maybe. And then bring your mind back to your breath. The thought that takes your mind away is something, an unpleasant memory or something you don't wish to think about right now. Imagine that thought in a balloon. Let that balloon go and float up high into the sky till it gets to a point where the air is so thin it just bursts, and then gently bring your mind back to focusing on every in-breath and every out-breath. Whatever is pulling your mind away, right here, right now, all you need to worry about is your breath. If your mind is being, your attention is being taken by some pain or discomfort in your body, I'd like you to use your breath to explore that part of your body that is giving you pain or discomfort. Imagine that part of your body being embraced in a breath full of love and compassion. Because if you saw someone in pain, that's what you would do. The natural reaction is to give someone love and compassion when they're in pain. So give that same love and compassion to that part of your body that is sending you signals. Maybe use your breath to explore the sensation in this part of your body. And maybe you'll discover that what seemed like one solid block of pain actually rises and falls. It's not as solid as you thought it was. And when there are no signals being sent by your mind or your body, just return your thought to your breath. Just this breath coming in, just this breath going out. It's your mind. You're in charge of what it thinks. Just use your breath to anchor your mind into this moment, and then this moment, and then this moment. There's a lot of movement associated with your breath. But now I'd like you to try and find that moment of stillness in between each breath. And your out breath becomes an in breath, and then your in breath becomes an out breath. There is a moment when everything is still. I don't want you to change your breath in any way or to hold your breath. But can you focus your mind and become aware of that brief moment of stillness? And let that stillness be reflected in your body and your mind. If you can't, don't worry. Just become aware of that moment of stillness. You might want to think about the fact that that moment of stillness happens hundreds of times every day, whether you're aware of it or not. Use your breath as an anchor. Anchor your mind and your body into that brief moment of stillness. How do you feel when you notice that stillness? Whatever you feel is perfect for you. Just notice that stillness. As you breathe, maybe you could imagine that stillness being breathed around the whole of your body. Bring your focus back once more to your breath. Every in-breath and every out-breath. And then slowly let your mind become aware of once more where you're lying or sitting. And let your attention spread outwards. So you become aware of the room. Any sounds both inside or outside your room. Listen to the sound of the singing bowl again. And when the third bowl has sounded for the third time, your eyes have been closed, let them open. And as you bring yourself back to normal awareness, keep in the front of your mind the thought that you can recall these good feelings anytime you need to by anchoring your awareness into your breath. And do please make sure that you are fully awake, fully alert and fully back before you go off and do whatever it is that you're doing today. Thank you very much for joining me for this video. As you've probably noticed, there are lots of changes going on in my life and in what's going on. That does mean that I am looking to change maybe the date and time of these regular broadcasts, but I don't feel that matters too much because the videos are archived, so you can actually watch them whenever is convenient for you. If you enjoy these videos, would like to have extra video time with me, or maybe would just like to have better picture quality and better sound quality, do please consider sponsoring me on my Patreon page. And you will see there what extra options are available to people who do sponsor me, and I'm not asking for an awful lot. And if you enjoy these and think you know somebody else who might enjoy them, do please feel free to share the videos with them and to tell them about what I do. And apart from that, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you all this time next week. And as ever, if there's anything in particular that you'd like me to cover in these videos, just drop me a message. Have a good day. Namaste.